Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all doing good.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Ms. Breakwater. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your stay in New York.
I did. Thank you.
Good, good. When is the SAP reset date?
It is April 16th.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, courtroom 2, we're ready to begin when you are.
Hey, Joe, we about to bring them out.
Oh,
Okay.
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay, who do we have first?
We can start with position number 3, Farwell Michaela.
Okay, yes, good afternoon, Ms. Crowley. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Crowley, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001548H with battery and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Mr. Howard, good afternoon. Is there a history?
Hey, nope. First arrest.
Good afternoon, Mr. Graham.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This incident took place on April 1st, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a dispute at Chevron located 4485 Washington Road in East Point. Upon arrival, the officer observed 3 to 4 people engaged in a fight. Speaking to Diane Thomas, the victim, she advised that her children's father, Alfred Harris, Michaela Crowley, and Mr. Harris's 2 younger sisters jumped on her. She was there to exchange custody of the children she shares with Mr. Harris. She further advised that Ms. Crowley also shares a child with Mr. Harris. The officer observed a laceration to Diane's forehead. Our office has been in touch with Ms. Thomas. She confirmed that she and Ms. Crowley have the same father of their children. She stated that they've had verbal arguments in the past, but this is the first time it's been physical. She confirmed the events in the police report and warrant and stated she does not want any contact with Ms. Crowley. Your Honor, based on the nature of the incident, the state is requesting a $1,000 surety bond, $1,000 on, I'm sorry, a $1,500 surety bond, $1,000 on the battery, and $250 on each of the cruelty charges. No further contact with Diane Thomas, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. And if we can sound for Miss Diane Thomas in accordance with Marcy's law.
If Ms. Diane Thomas is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I'll need for you to unmute yourself and raise your right. Is this Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand for me, ma'am? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Okay, you can place your hand down, Ms. Thomas. What would you like to tell the court?
nothing really. I just don't want no contact with her.
Okay, all right. Anything further, ma'am?
No.
All right, we appreciate you being here this afternoon. Mr. Cook, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your Honor, my client is 20 years old. She's gainfully employed as a manager at a fast food restaurant. She has no record. There will be no difficulty staying away. They don't live together. They don't need any contact. So no contact, staying away from the location. Given her lack of record, we would be asking for a signature bond through the jail, and then no further contact and the stay away is no problem.
Okay. For the battery, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For each of the cruelty to children, it'll be a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Diane Thomas, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Crowley.
Thank you.
We can go to position number. Position number 11, Brianna Tolbert.
Okay, and I see that we have the Spanish interpreter on. Are we gonna make accommodations for whoever needs to, if someone needs to speak with their client?
Yeah, I think both Ms. Kim and I we'll need a breakout at some point for our.
Okay, how many people will need an interpreter today?
Ms. Kim, do you know? You have one?
Yes, I have one.
And I have-
Gomez de Arauzo.
So I have
Okay,
two total. She has
Oh.
more than I have one.
okay, I just want to make sure that courtroom 2, that the deputies in there know that we'll need to make accommodations today.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, and so this is position number 11, Ms. Tolbert, is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Tolbert. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001555J with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
No.
Yes, Mr. Walker, good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 3973 Fox Hunt Lane in, East Point, Georgia, where they spoke with the victim, Tanjalyn. I believe Tanjalyn is on the line. She advised that her and the defendant resided at that location together. From my understanding, they were in a relationship at one point in time. They were having a verbal disagreement, at which point the defendant became aggressive with her, and she hip checked the victim, forcing her outside of the residence. The defendant admitted to her actions to the law enforcement officer. We have made contact with the victim, Ms. Jalyn. I believe she is on the line, so of course we would sound for her. She advised that this is not the first time that the defendant has been aggressive or the first time that she's had to call the police on the defendant. From my understanding, this is the first time the defendant has been arrested, however. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, no contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location. We are asking for the requirement of an F-fit course, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond, and of course, we would sound for the victim, Ms. Tanjalyn.
Mr. Walker, is the last name
Gelin, so I may be mispronouncing it. Your Honor.
Gelin?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. If Ms. Jalyn is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
I just wanted to say, I wasn't calling the police to get her arrested. I just needed the situation diffused. It wasn't very harsh situation. It was just a hip thrust. I did not wish for her to be abandoned from the property. I can be cordial with her. I just wish for no violence. That's all.
And let's see, do you all live at the same residence?
Yes.
And do you want her to return to that residence?
If she wishes to, she can.
And has this happened before?
As far as
Anything of a violent nature between the two of you?
we've had verbal arguments in the past, yes.
Any type of physical disputes?
Yes.
Okay, and are you afraid of her?
No.
All right. I appreciate you being here, Ms. Jolene. Let's see, Mr. Cook.
Truly, this is my client, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
Yes.
Ms. Kim. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Ms. Tolbert is 28 years old and she has 4 children at that house, the same residence, 1, 4, 6, and 7. So she really want to go back home. So we would like to request for a signature on bond through jail and no further violent contact since complaining witness is not afraid of her, and she was supposed to her new job yesterday. She's kind of excited to start her new job so that she can take care of her children. I think they can take care of this professionally without any violence. That's all, Your Honor.
Mr. Lynn, can you come back on the screen for me, please? Are you still with me, Mr. Lynn?
Yes, sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to work it.
Okay, no, you're fine. So there are 4 minor children staying at that residence with the two of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. Ms. Tolbert and Ms. Jolene, y'all are both adults. I'm concerned more about the children because y'all are responsible for these children. What they see, they will mimic. What you all, and if they're your children, Ms. Tolbert, you're responsible for them, their development, their growth, everything of that nature. Having them in a household that, whether I'm not sure what Mr. Lynn tells me is true or not, but if there's any type of arguments, physical or violent whatsoever, I'm not going to have it around those children. You understand me? So I'm concerned about those children. I don't want to displace them, but I don't also want them to be in a household where they are subject to the 2 grown adults acting the way that you all are possibly acting. It's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Ms. Jolene, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. You all, both of you, need to think about those children as you move forward and how you treat each other. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you both.
We will go to position number 1, Xavier Bolton.
Let's see. Whose client is Mr. Bolton?
My client, Your Honor, Keith Cook.
Okay. Whose client is in courtroom 1? Do we know?
That's my client, I believe.
Okay. Can I go ahead and place you into a breakout room in courtroom 1 with the interpreter, Ms. Kim?
Oh, no. No.
Okay.
Ms. Kim, Ms.
Yes.
Kim, Juliana Gomez is the person that was your client, you were going, okay. Yeah,
Yes.
that was mine too, there was an add-on, I think we both worked up the case, but that's okay. You got him.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. So there's only one person that needs
Yeah,
an interpreter
yeah.
this
It was
It was
afternoon?
last minute, yeah. And,
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Good afternoon, Ms. Chansey. We appreciate you being here this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's see if we can place Ms. Chansey, Ms. Kim, and courtroom 1 into a breakout room, please.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Grace. And Mr. Bolton, good afternoon. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Yes, sir. Thank you. Mr. Bolton, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001547Y with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
32. The open case in the cab for simple battery disorderly conduct. On probation in Fulton. 2 counts of ag stalking, terroristic threats, simple battery. 2021 battery DV arrest, 2013 battery conviction. That's it.
Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place April 2nd, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a domestic dispute at 1286 McClure Avenue Northwest in Atlanta. Upon arrival, the officer met with Jasmine Brewer. She advised that the father of her children, Xavier Bolton, was upset that he had to stay home to watch the children while she was out at a birthday party. When she arrived home, an argument began between the two as soon as she got out of the car. He then pushed her, struck her in the chest, knocking her to the ground. Your Honor, a few of the battery charges that Mr. Howard mentioned, 2013 was also with Ms. Brewer. 2016 was a simple battery family violence with Ms. Brewer. 2018, battery substantial harm with Ms. Brewer. The 2 cases out of the cab, 21 and 22, I was unable to find the victim in those cases. My assumption is it's probably the same one. Our office has not been in touch with Ms. Brewer. Based on the history, Your Honor, and this repeated offense with the same victim over the last at least 10 years, the state is requesting a $4,000 surety bond. Anger awareness course, no further contact with Jasmine Brewer. Stay away from 1286 McClure Avenue Northwest. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. We're out on bonds, and if we can sound for Miss Brewer, just in case, maybe on board.
Jasmine Brewer is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Mr. Cook?
Your Honor, my client is 42. He's lived in the Atlanta area his whole life. He is employed as a security. His income is somewhat limited. So we understand the background. We would ask, we have no problem with or no objection to the conditions set on the bond. We would ask for the lowest bond possible. So that would be the lowest surety bond possible. Okay. Nothing further.
Okay, it'll be $1,000 surety bond, no further contact with Jasmine Brewer. Stay away from the 1286 McClure Avenue address. You can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that he might have there. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Bolton.
We can go to position number 2. Carson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Carson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, I do, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Carson, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001558H with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
It's just a history of DUIs. On probation and call for DUI.
Okay, Mr. Graham.
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place March 30th, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a disturbance at 2532 Jewel Street in East Point. Upon arrival, the officer was met by Carson, who advised that Jaleesa Henderson was acting erratically and wanted her to go inside to her room. She threw a liquor bottle, kicked over a glass table. There was no damage to the table. Ms. Henderson did appear to be under the influence of alcohol. She had tree wigs in her hair, scratches on her arms, legs, and feet. She advised that Mr. Carson grabbed her by the arm, causing the bruises and the scratches when she was looking for her cell phone. Our office was in contact with Ms. Henderson. She advised that she and Mr. Carson are not in a relationship. They do live together, however. They share no children. She denies that he grabbed her in any way to try to harm her. She was unclear on what occurred during the incident. She stated that she does not want to press charges. She does want contact with him and for him to return to the residence. The state is requesting a signature bond through pretrial services. No further violent contact with Jaleesa Henderson. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. And if we may sound for Ms. Jaleesa Henderson in accordance with Marcy's law.
Ms. Jaleesa Henderson is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Mr. Cook, if it's okay with you, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail, no further violent contact with Ms. Henderson, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Does that suit you?
That's acceptable, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Carson.
Thank you.
We can go to position number 4, Viva Venez. Actually,
That's a waiver.
yeah.
Keep
Where
that
did it go
to-
last? We can go to position number 7, Ricky Means.
Good afternoon, Mr. Means. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Your Honor, this is Miss Kim's client, and she's still in a breakout.
Okay, can we go? We'll be with you, Mr. Means. Do you have any other clients in the courtroom, Mr. Cook?
I think, yes, I have a few. No pictures. Let's see.
I have my sheet. You can go to Ms. McLeod's client. Position of
Okay.
Willie Thomas.
Afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Thomas. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? You have to answer yes or no for me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0015557F with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
18. He was arrested in 1990 and then given a 20-year sentence. So after that was 2017 battery DV that was dismissed. So that's the big gap.
Okay. Can you tell me what he was arrested for or what he was in jail for?
Kidnapping, sodomy, ag assault, and a CWAC.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Walker.
Yes, John. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 522 English Avenue. They met with the victim, Ms. Glinda Carrion. She advised that her and the defendant lived together at their location. She met the officer while she was crying, had numerous visible injuries. She explained that she was assaulted by the defendant. She explained to the officer that she was sleeping in her bed and she was awoken by the defendant punching her in the head and face multiple times. She sustained swollen knots to her forehead, right hand, as well as bleeding, bruising, and lacerations to her lips. The defendant was identified by the victim and he was therefore detained. The state is asking for a $3,000 surety bond, no contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. We have not made contact with Ms. Carrion, but I will still just sound out for her out of abundance of caution.
Ms. Carrion is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 75 years old. This location is a rooming house, he tells me, where he has been living for some time. He tells me that the alleged victim is someone he's known for some time. They were in a relationship a long time ago, but they are no longer in a relationship. He tells me that she was the one who attacked him, and this was what caused them to get into an altercation. He doesn't have anywhere else to live, Your Honor. This is where he lives. And he is retired on Social Security, does not have much means, and doesn't have anyone to help him out. So if he's not allowed to go back there, he essentially is going to be homeless. He really, the case that was dismissed in 2017 apparently involved both of them as well, Your Honor. And he tells me it was a situation where both of them had been arrested. She had attacked him, but he does deny that they are in a relationship. He said he just allowed her to stay there. I know that the warrant claimed that there was something about him fussing at her for being with other people. He denies that. He says because their relationship has long ended, but he just allowed her to live there. I would ask the signature bond for my client, John, because he definitely does not have the means to pay a surety bond, and he is 75 years old. It's probably the oldest client I've had so far. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to give him a signature bond, Ms. McLeod, but he's going to have to find another place to live. If Ms. Curion is living at that English Avenue address at the present time, I don't see how they can be around each other in a rooming house and not run into each other. So I don't know how that there could be no further contact, which I am going to order if they're in the same living facility. So it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further contact with Ms. Curion. Stay away from the English Avenue address. You can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that he might have. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, Mr. Thomas.
That concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
Thank you, Your Honor. Same to you.
We can go ahead and do the waive, so waived clients. That's
Okay,
in the breakout room.
okay, and that's position number 4
And 5.
4 and 5. Okay, we'll do position 4 first. The Avila case 24 CR 001549C, charged with false report of a crime. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
45. Appeared to have open case out of room for trespass, obstruction, hindering emergency call, simple assault, family violence. On probation out of Floyd County for obstruction, giving false name. That was 2023 probation, 2022 trespass, PI obstruction, giving false name. Another 2022 arrest. That's it.
Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place April 1st, 2024. Officer Washington was flagged down near Woodruff Park, 91 Peachtree Street, Northwest Atlanta, by Willie Thomas. He advised that Lindsay D'Avila attempted to stab him with a knife before he ran away. Ms. D'Avila stated that the weapon used was a small knife with a wooden handle. A frisk of Ms. D'Avila yielded only a pair of scissors. No other objects were found on her person. She then stated that she was attacked in the face by Mr. Thomas. The officer observed bruising on her left eye and minor bruising on the right eye. Mr. Thomas denied the accusation. Ms. D'Avila then stated that he attacked her the day before, and finally that Mr. Thomas's girlfriend had attacked her. She gave no response as to why she changed her story. The state is requesting signature bond through the jail, no further contact with Willie Thomas, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Mr. Cook?
No objection to the recommendation of
All right, $1,000 signature bond through the jail, no further contact with Willie Thomas, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Does your client have a place to reside, Mr. Cook?
She is homeless in Atlanta, but her parents live in Rome and she expects to go back there. And she gave me an address in Rome where she receives her mail.
Oh, okay, all right. Let's see, Dustin Godfrey, case 24 CR 0015551E, charged with willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, driving while license suspended or revoked, and holding a wireless device for voice communication. Are you all objecting to a signature bond on these charges?
Are you asking to stay? That's fine, Your Honor. We just absolutely ask for no driving without a valid license. No weapons or alcohol without bond. I would ask that it's through pretrial services. And that's because of his, I mean, I would like the court to at least hear his history.
Okay, go ahead. Mr. Howard?
17 on probation for burglary. Got an open entering auto case in the cab. Open entering auto financial transaction card theft by taking out of Fulton. Another theft by taking in Fulton. 2 counts of theft by possession of stolen mail, that's in Superior Court. Theft by receiving obstruction in Superior Court. The entering auto is in Superior Court. 2022 porch piracy. What else? And 2013 cruelty to child in the 2nd degree conviction.
I
Okay.
mainly just wanted the court to know that he was wanted on multiple felony warrants when he was stopped. So that's the basis for asking for a pretrial services bond, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Cook?
We have no objection to conditions of bond, and we would ask for a signature bond through at whatever level the court deems appropriate.
Okay, it'll be $1,000 signature bond for the willful obstruction, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Driving with suspended license, $500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Holding a wireless device, a $500 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No driving without a valid license, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
And this would be per judge.
Okay. Would you all like to do the interpreter case next?
Yeah. That's what I was talking about.
Let's see, Ms. Chancellor, if you can raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm that you will interpret from Spanish to English and English to Spanish to the best of your ability?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Can you unmute for me, courtroom 1? Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Gomes. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Buenas tardes, señor Gómez de Araujo. Yo soy el juez Eric Morrow y estamos atendiendo la sesión de casos de trámite rápido estatales. Estoy dando esta audiencia en vivo y en la internet. ¿Está de acuerdo con que resolvamos su caso de este modo? Yes.
You have been charged with giving false information to law enforcement, speeding, and improper passing.
Usted tiene un cargo de dar información falsa a un oficial de policía. Segundo, exceso de velocidad. Y tercero, conducir pasando incorrectamente en una zona de pase prohibida.
Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Hay antecedentes, señor Howard.
4th arrest. Got an open driving without a valid license. Out of Ackworth.
Es el 4º arresto y tuvo un cargo por manejar sin una licencia en Awkward.
Got a driver without a valid license out of South Carolina. Last arrest was 2023, failure to appear.
También tiene otro por manejar sin licencia de Carolina del Sur en el 2023 y también con incumplimiento de asistencia al tribunal.
And a 2014 driving without a valid license.
Y el 2014 por manejar sin licencia.
Mr. Graham?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident took place April 1st, 2024. Officer D'Agostino initiated a traffic stop after observing the defendant passing another vehicle in a no-pass zone.
Este incidente ocurrió el 1 de abril. El oficial Agostino hizo una detención al observar que un vehículo pasaba de manera incorrecta en una zona donde el pasar a otro vehículo estaba prohibido.
Mr. Gomez was clocked at going 52 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone.
El señor Gómez fue observado de manejar a la velocidad de 52 millas por hora en una zona de 35 millas por hora permitidas.
When asked for his driver's license, he told the officer he didn't have it and provided the name Julian Gomez, Gomez.
Cuando le pedimos la licencia de conducir, él proveyó el nombre de Julian Gómez.
After reconfirming several times the name, the officer found a similar name with the same birth date that returned a warrant out of Ackworth and Sandy Springs.
Cuando después de preguntarle varias veces, el oficial obtuvo la información de una infracción de Ackworth en Sandy Springs.
Based on the history, Your Honor, the state is requesting signature bond through pretrial services, no driving without a valid license, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Entonces, la Fiscalía propone que se le otorgue una fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio, no manejar mientras esté bajo fianza y que queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas. I'm sorry, sir, can you repeat the amount of the fine for me?
My apologies. I didn't.
Oh, I wanted to make sure. Thank you.
No problem.
Ms. Kim?
Señorita Kim?
I'd like to request for signature on bond through jail because he has 2 holds, Your Honor, one at Sandy Springs and the other one at Edwards. So he's going to be in the jail for a long time. And I really don't want him. He's not going to be able to do any pretrial services while he's on hold. And he has been here in Georgia for more than 7 years.
Yo pido que por favor se le otorgue una fianza bajo firma a través de la cárcel, debido a que él tiene 2 detenciones, una desde Sandy Springs y otra desde Ackworth. Entonces él va a estar en la cárcel por mucho tiempo y no podrá cumplir con los servicios previos al juicio. Él ha estado en Georgia por 7 años.
He is 37 years old. He's gainfully employed, and he's been here for more than 7 years. He has cousin here. I don't think that he's going to be running away.
Él ha estado aquí por 7 años, ha estado empleado también por 7 años y él tiene parientes aquí y no creo que él corre el riesgo de huir.
And by the way, he speaks Portuguese, so but fortunately our Miss Chancey speaks both Portuguese and Spanish, so we were able to manage.
I would like to clarify he speaks Portuguese, Your Honor, but he also speaks Spanish. I am not lucky to speak Portuguese the defendant does speak Spanish, and we had to speak slowly, but we were able to communicate without problem.
So for the given false information, it's going to be a $5,000 signature bond through the jail.
Por el cargo de dar información falsa a un oficial de policía van a ser una multa de $5,000 bajo firma a través de la cárcel.
For the driving, speeding, a $500 signature bond through the jail.
Por el exceso de velocidad, $500 bajo firma a través de la cárcel.
For the improper passing, a $500 signature bond through the jail.
Y también por conducir pasando incorrectamente en una zona de pase prohibido, $500 multa bajo firma a través de la cárcel.
Which makes for a total of a $6,000 signature bond through the jail.
Por un total de $6,000 de multa a través de la cárcel, bajo firma.
No driving without a valid license.
Queda prohibido manejar sin una licencia válida.
No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Se prohíbe el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras esté bajo fianza.
Mr. Gomez, if you are caught driving without a license while you are out on bond, you will be subject to a $6,000 bond in this case, if this bond is revoked.
El señor Gómez, si a usted se lo atrapa manejando con licencia otra vez, se le cancelará esta fianza bajo firma y se impondrá una de $6,000.
Although you were not charged with driving without a valid license in this matter, if you do not have a valid license, you cannot drive.
Aunque no se lo ha acusado formalmente con un cargo de manejar sin licencia, si usted no posee una licencia de conducir, no puede manejar.
Good luck to you, sir.
Buena suerte, señor. Thank you.
Okay, do we need Ms. Chancey for any other cases this afternoon? Okay, if not, thank you, Ms. Chancey. We appreciate you
You're
being here.
welcome. Have a good evening, sir.
Do the same. Who do we have next?
We can go to position number 7, Ricky Means.
Good afternoon again, Mr. Means. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001552A with theft by taking. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
35, 2023 FTA on probation for trespass out of state court. Got another FTA from 2023, probation violations from 2019 to 18. 2018 FTA, 2018 trespass no-law.
Yes, Sean, in this case, law enforcement was dispatched to Grady Hospital. I have the location listed as 148 Pratt Street. So I'm not sure which building that is at Grady, but this did occur at Grady. They spoke to the victim, Ms. Trinice Beaver. She advised that she had her laptop and AirPods at her workstation. The camera, the security system did capture the defendant taking her laptop bag that had her AirPods. We are asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, no contact with the victim, Ms. Beavers, stay away from Grady unless receiving medical treatment, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And of course, we would sign for the victim, Ms. Trinice Beavers.
Ms. Beavers is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Ms. Kim?
Your Honor, we have no objection to signature on bond through pretrial.
All right, it'll be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from Grady unless seeking medical treatment. No further contact with Ms. Beavers. Good luck to you, Mr. Means.
I think you're student you want to.
Thank you. Position number 8, Antonio Peaches.
Good afternoon, Mr. Peaches. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Oh, yes, sir.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0015553D with theft by taking. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Fourth arrest. Last arrest was on the 30th of March, suspended license. 2019 financial transaction card fraud. He got holes out of the cab, called them a Muskogee.
In this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 1835 Piedmont Avenue, which is the location of a Griner restaurant. The defendant is an ex-employee at that location. He was arrested for taking $500 from the cash register as well as a $75 bottle of tequila before leaving the scene. This was captured on security cameras and he was identified by management. As far as signature bond through pretrial services, stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Peaches is 28 years old, and Your Honor, he does have another felony charge, and he has 3 foreign county warrants that he has to take care of. Cobb County, DeKalb County, and then another county. We would like to request for signature on bond through jail, so that way he can take care of the other matters as well. Thank you.
Okay, it'll be a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the Piedmont Avenue address and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Peaches.
Next, we have position number 9, Mr. Michael Repress.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Express. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0015554J with terroristic threats and acts. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Fourth arrest. 2019 AMC charge. 2015 simple assault, criminal use of an article, conviction.
In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 2951 Legion Way, which is a Taco Bell. Law enforcement was called there due to a dispute with the defendant, who was a patron at that restaurant. They met with the manager of the facility. He advised that the defendant was unhappy with the service that he received. In return, he took the food and threw it at the location and said, "I'm going to shoot this B word up." The state is asking for $1,000 surety bond. Stay away from the incident location. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Your Honor, I believe that surety bond is too excessive for this case. He is recommended for UJR jail. Your Honor, he is gainfully employed. He also goes to school to be licensed for HVAC, so that way he can get better job. There was no weapons, nothing. He was just really just talking by himself, and then there was no intent to threaten anybody. We would like to request for signature on bond through jail.
It'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1, 1-day anger awareness. Stay away from the Legion Way location and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thanks, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. We can go to position number 12. Jonathan White.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wright. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Thank you. Mr. Wright, you've been charged in case 24CR001550C with hit and run, improper backing, and improper erratic lane change. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
18 adult arrest, a resident of Dallas, Texas. 2023 assault, 2017 resisting, driving without a license, careless operation. 2017 false ID conviction, 2015 theft conviction, 2015 unlawful use of criminal instrument conviction, and a 2014 retail theft conviction.
Mr. Graham?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident took place June 18th, 2023. Jonathan Wright was involved in an auto accident when his RV struck another vehicle. That vehicle was owned by Raven Jordan. Her vehicle was parked at the time. She was inside of it when he swiped it on the right side. Mr. Wright then began to drive away. Miss Jordan followed in an attempt to stop him so she can file a police report. During the pursuit, Mr. Wright did stop to confront Miss Jordan before attempting to leave again. Miss Jordan provided cell phone footage of Mr. Wright then taking the vehicle, which is a purple RV, backing it into her car, causing additional damage. Your Honor, based on the history, there are a couple of driving infractions, careless operation, and some infractions out of Texas. The fact that he lives in Texas, the state is requesting a $1,500 surety bond. It's $1,000 on the hit and run, and $250 on improper backing and lane change. No driving without a valid license, no further contact with Raven Jordan, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Wright is 27 years old and he is gainfully employed. Actually, he moved to Georgia about 2 weeks ago. That's why his address is not updated. However, he does have a Georgia address and he graduated from high school, and we would like to request for a signature on bond through pretrial, even though it may be level 1 or 2. Thanks.
For the hit and run, a $500 good bond. For the backing, a $250 good bond. For the erratic lane change, a $250 good bond. It makes for a total of $1,000 good bonds. No further contact with Raven Jordan, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Wright.
Thank you. Judge, can I say something?
No,
You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you.
please do not say anything. You will have another day to argue for your innocence.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Do we have anyone else?
No.
Okay. Ms. Bridgewater, whenever you are ready.
Okay. Once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is April the 16th. Position number 1 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 2, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. 3, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 4, reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. 5 is reset further notice with a total $2,000 SOB through pretrial per judge. 6 is going to be reset further notice with a total $6,000 SOB through the jail. 7, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 8, reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through the jail. 9, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 10, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 11, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. And 12 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise? No? Great. Very, very good day, everybody.
See y'all next time.
Until then, goodbye.
Goodbye.